Okay, Larry, I'm going to let you throw the first question out to Jim. Now, gentlemen, let me just don't get into the weeds.
We're going to focus on business. We're going to focus on business.
I need bullet points, guys, because you guys get started on the HBO 2,
I don't want to talk about that. But I do want to talk about something, and this is actually something that's a little near and dear to my heart, and I'm glad that Jim's here because this is your listeners can benefit from this interesting conversation now. Now, Mr. Puckett, let's talk about how to bring
Mr. Puckett.
Mr.
This
Puckett.
ain't going to be
Mr.
good.
Puckett.
Really?
Let's talk about coordination for economic development. Mm-hmm. We all know that the segment where the donut hole is in our communities is manufacturing, light industrial, warehouse, small flex office space.
Right.
Everybody knows that there's basically 100% occupancy rate. Everybody's wondering how to get these buildings up. Everyone's wondering how to get financing for it because here's the thing. The profit margin is not necessarily that big. Mm-hmm. But the long-term investment of any of these major industrial facilities or these major light manufacturing facilities, you're talking 30, 40, 50 years. And the supply chain offshoot, I mean, I hate to use the word multiplier because I know that tends to, get thrown around. But there is. I mean, you're talking about what BMW did in Greenville. Mecklenburg County uses incentives. Lincoln County offers free land, dirt, and they help prop up buildings. Cabarrus County has done that kind of the same Lincoln County model where there's more buildings, more dirt. What are your thoughts on how we as a community can do better in terms of spurring that type of growth from our small industrial businesses and then helping bring more of those industrial businesses and more of those light manufacturing businesses here to the Lake Norman region and Mecklenburg County?
It's interesting and timely you ask that. One of the things that I'm pushing with the Mecklenburg County Economic Development Committee, we have a committee within the county commission, is this notion of regional recruitment. I am not one that supports tax incentive financing for people, unless, by the way, it's major manufacturing, because that makes a lot of sense. I'm one of those people, we talked earlier about painting and machinery. I realize that if you relocate a building full of machines and literally bolt them to the floor, you're probably going to be here for the long haul, as opposed to a call center that's going to rent some office space and can move as soon as the tax incentives go away. What Mecklenburg County, for example, has to start to concentrate on, and I'm beginning to get traction with this, literally we're starting to rewrite our economic incentive package, is the notion of working with an Iredell County and a Lincoln County, a Union County, in recruiting manufacturing plants where the dirt is cheaper. You just cannot afford to buy dirt for a manufacturing plant in Mecklenburg County, with the understanding that when you land a Doosan or you land a BMW, that the ancillary stuff comes to Mecklenburg County very often, particularly distributorships. Mecklenburg County is a major hub for manufacturing machinery. Murata and DMG and Chiron and Akuma Machinery all are brought into Charlotte. So you find that the transportation piece of it comes to Charlotte-Mecklenburg that supplies the outlying manufacturing plants. And so we have got to start figuring out how we can help the outlying counties do a better job or whatever we can help them with to start landing manufacturing jobs. And then we need them to help us with regional offices and that type of thing.
Well, and that's the thing that you talk about Mecklenburg County rewriting its economic incentive policy. We talk about the economic incentives. Everybody's talking about how, I hate to dip into the HB2 pool, but everyone talks about how HB2 impacted the retail office space community, talked about how it impacted the commercial office space community. We've seen Charlotte for a very long time say, we have to do well for the region to do well. And I don't disagree with that. Charlotte's the economic engine. It's the hub. It's everything that matters in terms of business in providing for that major tax base. But what a lot of people don't realize is besides uptown, which is where all the major buildings are, the second largest tax base in Mecklenburg County is the region surrounding Westinghouse Boulevard.
Right. Yep.
Those industrial users provide an incredible amount of tax base. And for me, I'm going to pose this argument. You tell me if I'm wrong. For Mecklenburg County to succeed long term, as well as the 7 counties surrounding it, I think that perhaps it's time for Lake Norman, Lincoln County, Iredell County, Cabarrus County to start thinking, we can't just be bedroom communities.
Right.
We have to find a way to have our own industrial manufacturing base to help offset the cost of all of these residential homes. And I mean, Huntersville has an immense amount of land that could be used for that. But do you think that it's time to get more aggressive in that, or do you think that we should that movement towards bedroom communities should?
No,
continue?
you do. And the truth is that Charlotte now is its own. It's its own magnet, and so that's not a problem. People are going to come here because they want to or not. The Lake Norman region, particularly when you look North Mecklenburg, Iredell, Lincoln, is now developing enough infrastructure that it can support. It already is, but can grow its own economic hub, such that it's self-supporting. It doesn't necessarily need what Mecklenburg County and Charlotte has. One of the biggest reasons I have fought so vigorously for I-77 is because most people, and Charlotte clearly doesn't understand this, actually Charlotte really doesn't care about this, is that the I-77 toll road project kills the opportunity for expansion of manufacturing and distribution in North Mecklenburg, Iredell County. And the logistics guys are starting to come on board. The meetings I'm having now in Raleigh around the I-77 contract are the logistics people who are beginning to realize this will become a black hole. There will be no manufacturing here. There'll be no distribution here. There'll be no logistics framework here because as we sit here today, trucking companies' nav systems are already routing people down different areas and not through Mecklenburg County and Iredell.
The biggest loser absolutely is going to be business.
Absolutely. Yes. And they're waking up
to commerce because it's going to change the entire dynamics of retail and a consumer thought process through this entire travel process on those four main exits. It's a material change, business related, which is why business was driving this negative feeling from the beginning.
Right. Well, and I met with a gentleman by the name of Wallace Everett, who is the president of the, I'm going to get this wrong, the North Carolina Logistics Council. But he finally kind of woke up. I had an opportunity to talk to him about the toll lane process. And what people don't get about the toll lane is that there's no added capacity in general purpose lanes for trucking, and trucks cannot use the tolls. And he actually sent an email to me that I have now forwarded to a number of people, and I get replies back almost immediately when he said, if this doesn't change, Greenville, South Carolina becomes the next great transportation hub in the South, because people coming out of the new ports of Charleston and Savannah, because with the Panama Canal being widened and now you have massive amounts of freight coming into the East Coast. And as much as we like Wilmington, Savannah and Charleston are carried the most of it. Once you get on I-26 headed to Columbia, you have a choice. You can either turn right and go up I-77 to get to I-40, or you can go straight on into Greenville and go up that way. And they're going to avoid this at all costs. So, Raleigh-Durham becomes a bigger area, Greenville, South Carolina, and our area starts to wither just because you can't get freight through here.